Hello students and welcome back to our English slang video series. In this 8th video in our series, we're going to talk about a new slang expression. Well, maybe not new, but one that I've heard used before multiple times, and it's more slang than formal English, and that is cringe, or that's cringe, or there's a number of ways we could say it, but it's cringe, or that's I cringed. We're going to go over that, but as you can tell, this gentleman right here is making a face that we would do when we're cringing at something or when we cringe. So it is a verbal expression that we use. It's a verb that we use in the English language when we're wincing or not liking something, and it embarrasses us or disgusts us or makes us uncomfortable. So we're going to cover that in this English slang video. I hope you can join us to understand better how do we use this expression, why do we use this expression, and what are some other forms of this slang that would be more formal as substitutes. So my name is Ben with English from A to Z, and let's get started. That's cringe, or it's cringe, or I cringed, or cringe. It's a slang expression. We can use it in different ways, but it is a verb that is common in English, which refers to showing disgust, showing embarrassment, or general discontent or discomfort through your facial expressions or your body language, just feeling uncomfortable in general. A good example I have in a written sentence is about, experimenting in school. So doing an autopsy or a dissection. So here we have, when Mr. Howard told us we were going to be dissecting dead adult frogs for biology class today, I couldn't help but cringe at the thought of doing that for an hour. So a good example of when you would cringe is when you would have to see, for a class experiment or a class on biology, is to see the parts of a frog or another animal that is deceased, but for which biology class forces you to dissect the frog to see what's inside, to see the body parts, how it functions. So that would make somebody like me, for example, cringe at the thought of doing that. So it's not a very fun activity, but for school that might be required. So cringing is just, ugh, you don't want to see it. It's kind of creates a sense of disgust, embarrassment, or discomfort, as I mentioned it in the meaning. Now, how cringe can be used, it's a short expression, and you can put that's in front of it, or it's cringe, or I cringed, or we cringed, using the verb and the ending there to describe your reaction to someone or something making you uncomfortable or disgusted. You can also use it as a verb in the middle or beginning of a sentence. It can also be added with a Y, like cringy or cringing, as well. There is some debate if cringe is an actual English word, but I would say it is. But it's a very popular slang expression. It's very informal in its usage, but there is a meaning and a definition behind this word. Now, in the past tense, you would use the D ending, adding a D at the end too. And cringe is popular, is still used today, mainly by young people, but can be replaced by formal words such as I winced, that it's nasty, it's unsettling, that's vile, or you're vile, to use more formal English. So there are substitutes that I'm going to go over in the next slide. So other slang expression substitutes for cringe. We have some related sayings here that I want you to keep in mind in case you can't think of a word to substitute for cringe, but there are other more formal or more slang expressions to use. I'm going to start with the slang expressions. So other slang is that's whack, W-H-A-C-K, or whack, W-A-C-K, to describe something that's crazy or also uncomfortable. That's nuts, like thinking that's wild and having a visceral reaction to it. And then you have more formal English, oh, that's weird or awkward. Or you also have that's vile, which is very formal, or it's vile, or it's gross. Then we have cringe-worthy, which is it's worthy of being cringed at, basically, but you're combining the two words together. And that does work. it's cringeworthy, or it's wild, or what a wild thing. So wild, whack, nuts, weird, awkward, vile. These are all, or even nasty. These are all expression substitutes for cringe. Now, the slang here, I think that's whack, or whack would be the slang expression. None of these other ones, except for that's nuts, would be considered English slang. Vile, awkward, weird, cringe-worthy. Well, cringe-worthy would be slang too, but more formal than cringe. Wild is also kind of slang, but can also be used in formal English in a way. So whack, nuts, and wild probably are the slang expressions here. I have a few examples of how to use these other related sayings in a sentence. We have here, when Jane got up to sing karaoke, she tried her best, but it was cringeworthy. People didn't like it. She kind of didn't sing very well. She did her best. We applaud her for that, but it was cringeworthy. It made us uncomfortable. Somebody came into school dressed like a clown, and it wasn't even Halloween. That's whack. So that it's another basically saying that's crazy, that's nuts, that's wild. Somebody came into school dressed like a clown, and it wasn't even Halloween, so they're dressed in a clown, dressed like a clown, and it's not a holiday. That's whack. So it could be also that's cringe, which brings me back to our English slang word. Derek and Alex forgot to do their homework, even though the teacher had told them just yesterday about it. Awkward. So yeah, it's awkward, or it's a little crazy that they forgot to do their homework, even though the teacher had told them specifically about it yesterday. And then you add a comma and then awkward to express how uncomfortable that would be for them. You could also say cringe at the end of that, but I think awkward also works well. So those are some other slang and general English expressions that we would substitute for our slang word of cringe. So thanks a lot for watching. Cringe is, you're going to hear it. It is a slang expression, slang word. You can add it's, that's, and then subject words like we, I, you onto that. But I want you to keep in mind, think of dissecting a frog. That would make anyone cringe, right? So remember, if you're cringing, it means you're showing facial expressions like that guy in the first slide that we had, basically expressing discomfort, dismay, or just disgust about something like dissecting a frog. So now you know what cringe means, how we use it, why is it slang, and what are some substitutes to use instead for more formal English. So I want to thank you again for watching this great English slang video. I hope you've enjoyed this series. Remember to check out our other great YouTube videos on our channel. Hit that subscribe button right here, or it'll look like that, but hit it on our channel to subscribe to other notifications about videos that are to come. We have all these videos from learning the entire English alphabet from letters A to Z to fixing your sentence errors to improve your grammar. Don't forget to hit the like button for this video as well. Remember to subscribe, follow us here on YouTube. If you have any questions about this video or would like to subscribe to our official newsletter, go to our website, englishfromatozd.com/newsletter, and I'll see you again soon for another English slang video. Thank you so much. Take care now. Bye-bye.